Fire that ref, man. Fire that ref. That piece of What was he doing? Bobby Green is on his face, almost out cold, for like 10 seconds straight getting wailed on by Jalin Turner. No fault on Turner's side. I mean, he's got to do his job, but the ref got to do his job too. Why is he waiting for the guy to get borderline deleted out there? You know what I'm saying? Like, the fight could have been stopped as soon as Bobby Green hit the ground from that right hand. That fight could have been stopped right from there. Not 20 punches behind the ear to put him out cold. And even when he got up, much later, when he got up, the guy was wobbling, he wasn't on good legs, and it was an amazing performance by Jalin Turner, who took the fight on short notice. He came out there, straight punch beat, looping and all that, great technique from him, and even Bobby Green showed some good technique in the beginning, trying to get in on his much longer opponent. You could see there was a bit of an issue for Bobby Green to find that opening, get inside his own shorter range without getting countered along the way. But Turner was way too sharp, way too precise, and extremely fast. I'm actually very impressed. He looked that good out there, taking the fight on short notice like that. He cut a tremendous amount of weight. He's a very big guy. He didn't look good in the press conference before the weigh-ins, and he came out there and performed beautifully, getting the biggest win of his career. Bobby Green is a legitimate, notable win for anybody to beat at this point. Green is a great fighter, but the ref may have just caused that guy at 37 years old to completely change. That's a kind of beating that can change you forever. I'm sorry if I seem a little upset, but like, that was a horrible stoppage. That was so bad. But when we talk about the fight, there were definitely moments early where Bobby Green, a couple of his punches were falling short. Like, for instance, when he was trying to counter Jalin Turner coming in, you could tell the distance management wasn't completely there, especially trying to draw Turner in for a counter punch. His distance management was much better when he was trying to blitz in from that long range, because he just has to cause a collision with Turner. He's not landing his punches at the perfect distance, but at least he could touch him with his hands. In this kind of instance where Jalin Turner is the one that moves forward, doubling up on his jabs, it's more on Jalin Turner to dictate where the distance is going to be. Bobby Green is pulling away from the jabs, dips to his own left to try to counter with the right hook. Jalin Turner had a good guard on his left side. Look at his hand right there. He's aware of the counter punch, and the distance just wasn't there from Bobby Green, as Jalin Turner was able to pull away from that counter punch. But you see this reaction from Bobby Green, how he's trying to land that lead hook like that? Note that down, because Turner made a read here that got him the knockout later. Bobby Green did the exact same thing at the finishing sequence, as Turner doubled up on his jab, moved slightly to his left side while stepping and throwing. Bobby Green is not moving anywhere, so Jalin Turner's moving, Green is staying in place, trying to use trunk movement. He gets his head on the outside of the jab, but because Jalin Turner stepped off to his own left while setting up, he's able to get that clear view on where he needs to land his precise right straight. And he knows that Bobby Green is going to throw that same exact lead hook. Last time he threw it from southpaw, this time he's going to throw it from orthodox. He knows that Bobby Green is in the orthodox stance, so throwing the right straight from here is going to cause his straight to beat the looping punch, catches Bobby Green clean, and he does it again, throws the jab, even while Green is completely rocked. He tries to slip on the outside again, giving Jalin Turner the exact same opening and puts him out. He was trying to find the opening to blitz in on him and did catch Jalin Turner a few times, but mostly what he resorted to was that low side kick to the knee, because Jalin Turner, his legs are out there to tag, and Green was tagging him with that lead side kick. He tried different ways to get in. He threw a body jab at one point that went across and skid the body. Didn't really land too clean, and you can see Jalin Turner, the guy's head hunting. He's trying to snipe him from that long range, trying to connect with that right hand. Bobby Green would also try to dart in with the shifting combo, reaching it with his power hand. It could be from southpaw or orthodox. Right here you could see from the southpaw stance, he's reaching in with his power hand, but his hand is extended. It's not a closed fist. He's not trying to land a punch with that. He's trying to get Jalin Turner to lean away, which is going to load up that back leg, not allowing Jalin to move in that quick interval. If Jalin Turner tries to move his feet right from there, it's going to be way too slow. He's going to get caught, because as you're moving your feet, if you don't practice it enough, it's hard to generate the kind of power while throwing a punch at the same time. So Bobby Green, after reaching, he's shifting into the opposite stance to line up that right hand. And in this instance, they both do land on each other, as Jalin Turner counters him with the right hand. Another attempt to blitz him from distance was when Bobby Green was again in southpaw, and he was watching for Jalin Turner's movements. So he was looking to react to whatever Turner is doing. Turner throws in a step and pump with that lead hand and causes Bobby Green to come out with a reaction, dipping his head to slip his head on the inside of the jab. And the funny thing about it is, even though Turner got that reaction out of him, this time he wasn't too precise with that lead hand. He threw another jab and goes right past Bobby Green's head. So he got the reaction, he knew exactly where Bobby Green's head was going to be, but still missed the punch. I think with a proper training camp, he probably would not have missed like this. But Green fires out from that distance, tries to land a left hand over the shoulder, but uses that in order to shift in with his meaningful right hand. That's what he's ultimately trying to land here. He throws a right hand and you can see that short distance. He doesn't know exactly what distance to attack from, but all he needs is that collision. Even if his punch is really close to his target, at least he's going to land his punch by crashing into his longer opponent. And after missing one of his punches, he goes and blasts a right hook from distance. Jalin Turner was able to move away from the punch and gets countered because his hands are all the way down at his hips. There's no reason for him to actually have his hands that low against an opponent like this who's not going to attempt takedowns on him. And he gets hit by a two-piece combo. Open right from there, no defense whatsoever. The left hand hit him, and then the right hook follows up, catching him clean, man. There was even a point in the fight where Jalin Turner landed a high kick at the top of Bobby Green's head, so it goes over the guard and slaps him to the top of the head. And that didn't rock him, which I'm pretty surprised about. So amazing performance by Jalin Turner, man. Just a shame with the ref, and I really hope Bobby Green recovers from this. I do apologize for getting upset. I'm sorry about that, and I'll see you guys in the next video.